What is up, guys, and welcome back to Lee's Automotive. Today I'm going to be showing you guys kind of a brief removal and reinstallation of the brake booster on a 99 Ford Explorer. This is a reman booster. The booster I got, though, is defective. Basically what's going on is the booster does hold vacuum, but when you actuate the brake pedal, there is a clicking / popping feeling about a quarter of the way down. So I'm actually going to be replacing this, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace the recall in another video that these Ford Explorers do have. Basically, it is a fire risk. It's not only on the Explorer, it's also on the Ranger, F-150, F-250, and I believe the F-350. So I'm going to show you guys how to remove this booster. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fuse box and I'm going to unbolt it from the vehicle, and I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to remove these two, I believe, 14mm bolts. There's two of them that hold the master cylinder to the booster. Basically what I'm going to do is, instead of removing this master cylinder, because these lines have been put in here from the factory, and I don't want to risk breaking them, and I don't want to bleed the brakes on this vehicle. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this master cylinder, unbolt it, and I'm going to pull it away, and I'm going to have enough room so I can slide this booster up here and slide it out. I did this before when I did the replacement of this. The previous booster had a hole rusted into it, and also the diaphragm was leaking. So basically what you're going to want to do is you want to get a 13 or 14mm wrench, I'll let you know in just a second, and remove these two bolts. And then what you want to do is remove your vacuum line from your booster. So let me get that wrench and I will get right back to y'all. Alright, so I am actually back here. These are going to be 14mm sockets. You can use a socket on a ratchet, or you can use the ratchet and wrench, which I'm going to use just because it is easier for me, and I don't have a ratchet extension long enough to get over the brake lines without damaging this line down here, this black line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull these two bolts out. And then when I get those two bolts out, I can actually show you guys how to get this hose off. You just basically twist and pull, or you can do that. Now, what you're going to want to do is, when you get your new booster, you want to use the brand new check valve that comes with it, just for warranty purposes, and because sometimes these valves actually develop a leak. So you're going to want to use that valve from the new booster instead of reusing your old one, just because you don't want any leaks or issues with your brand new booster. So I'm actually going to pull this check valve off this hose in a minute, and then put it back in here so I can return this back to the manufacturer. So yeah, let me get these bolts out and I'll get right back to you guys. Okay, so with these bolts removed, what you're going to want to do is, there is a brake level sensor for the fluid. You're going to want to squeeze the clip here on the bottom, and you're going to want to pull this off like that. When you get that off, you're going to want to slide this forward a bit, but before you pull this completely off the master cylinder, once the bolts are removed, you're going to want to get a 10mm socket on a 1/4 drive ratchet. There's a bolt right here, and there's a bolt under here. Oh, there's one back here, sorry. There's one back here. You can't see it, but there's one here, there's one here. What you're going to want to do is remove those, and then you're going to want to come down to your fender well area, and there's going to be a 8mm, I believe, right here. You're going to want to remove this because your fuse box has a tab that this screws into, and once that's off, you can remove your fuse box. So I'm going to get this out and I will come right back. So a quick correction, these are actually 8mm bolts. The ones here that go to the fuse box and the one on the bottom are 8mm, not 10. Sorry about that. Okay, so with your fuse box removed from the bolts, you're going to want to close it, and you're going to lift it out. This is kind of tricky to do, so I'm going to try my best and then record with my phone to show you guys how to do this. It is not the easiest. Basically what you want is you don't want to bend these lines. Trust me, it's a bad day if you do. But, okay. These are kid-friendly videos, so I'm not going to yell at this thing. Just going to be a lot of patience. Basically, that's just the grease I put in. I thought it was brake fluid for a second. You're going to want to move this up like this. Then you want to get this fuse box out of your way. Now there's 4 bolts to the inside, and there's a clip and a sensor on the brake pedal that you have to remove to get this booster out. Be very, and I mean very careful to not bend the lines. If you do bend or kink the lines or breaking the lines off, you're going to be in for a very bad day. Especially considering that these lines run to this ABS pump. If you get air in this ABS pump and you don't have the dealer tool to get the air out, you're really going to have a bad day. You can use something called ForScan. It's for Windows. It works great for Ford vehicles only. Some Mazdas and stuff like that, like Mercury's, it'll work for those too. Basically anything produced by Ford Motor Company. But it's just easier to do this the right way and not screw up, because if you do, you're going to be in, more labor, and basically you're going to be stressed out trying to figure out why it's broke or why you have air in your lines or something. So basically it's more of a do as I say, not as I do, even if this is kind of a tutorial. As long as you follow the steps I'm showing you, you should be good to go without hurting anything. So I'm going to take you inside the cabin and show you how to get those bolts out of the booster. Okay, so light's on. Basically, when you get under here, you're going to see this floor cover up here by the brake booster. See that rubber plunger? That is your booster. This floor piece insulation comes off. It's already cut in two from the factory, so you can remove it. Basically what you're going to want to do is bend it out of your way and then remove the 4 13mm bolts holding the booster to the car. But before you do that, there's a yellow clip in the sensor that must be removed first. Basically, this is a pain in the butt to film. Let me see if I can get... I'm not the skinniest guy per se, so it's kind of hard for me to get in here and show you this. But basically, you're going to come up to this clip right here, lift up on it. I'm not going to be able to show you. Basically, take a finger or a flathead screwdriver and lift up on it and pull forward facing you, or facing the firewall of the vehicle, basically. And you want to slide this clip out. It's a little yellow retaining tab. Then you're going to want to come up here and you're going to want to wiggle your brake switch. If this does come off, this goes to the bottom of the wiring harness for the brake light switch. You need to put this back on. It does come off on mine. I think the clips are broke, but there is your switch. What you want to do is come up here, is wiggle. And I know, guys, it's not the best viewing angles, and I am so sorry about that. I do not have an expensive camera or anything. I'm literally on my cell phone filming this for y'all, like all my videos. So that's why most of my videos are not the most helpful, but I try. Basically what you do is you wiggle that. Whew, I'm out of breath. It's very hot out here too. It's up in the 90s. While you're wiggling like that, you just wiggle side to side and it comes off. Now what goes in between this is that rod that goes to the booster right there. You want to come up, remove the rod. Also, there's this bushing that you must put back. It goes, basically you push this on the rod of the brake pedal And then once you do that, you put the brake switch on the rod. I'm going to show you how to do that as best I can, but do not lose this or the yellow clip. You want to keep these somewhere safe, such as your cup holder, like I just did. And as I said, do not lose that part. I just dropped it. All right, there we go. Now, once you come up here and you remove this rod, there you go. It's off the brake pedal. Now the hard part's out of the way. What you're going to want to do next, this is very awkward as I said, I will be using my Milwaukee Impact on this. Oh, I know this video is going to crap in a handbasket. I am so sorry, y'all. I'm trying this foam pad right here. It just slides off. Do not rip it, just because it's sound denting material and it goes to your floorboard. If the seat wasn't in the way, this would be a lot easier. Basically want to bend it down like that, and then you have access to all 4 of your bolts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Milwaukee Impact and impact these out real quick, and then I will come right back. So this is basically my impact I'm going to use. It's just the Milwaukee brushless non-fuel. I'm using a 13mm heart socket with a heart extension. This is a 3/8 socket. You do not need an impact, but the reason I'm using one is just because it's easier to get them out and I have the tools, so I might as well do it. Actually, my first time using this. This is the M18 cordless. So let's see if it'll even fit in here. I'm betting it will not. No, it doesn't look like it's going to fit. Let me try to maneuver this in here and get these out, and I'll come back. So good luck fitting an impact down there. It will not fit between the dashboard and the actual pedal assembly / booster assembly. So that's not going to work. You're going to have to use a 3/8 ratchet and a 3/8 deep socket, preferably a 13mm because that's what the bolt size is. There's a metric size. I don't know what that is. Like a standard socket size. I don't do standards. I only use millimeter. So I'll come back once I get the other 2 bolts or the other 3 bolts out. I got 1 out with the impact area, the 3 out. And then I'll come back and show y'all. Alright, so once you get all 4 bolts out, you're going to want to come around. And there's your booster. It's going to be loose now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. A lot of people are going to disagree with this. A lot of people are going to find it easier than removing this master cylinder and having to bleed the brakes. I have put all new brake pads and rotors on this vehicle. New parking brake shoes, all that. So I really don't feel like bleeding the brakes. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this out of the way, like so. Do not bend the lines. I know I sound like a broken record that keeps repeating itself. Trust me, you don't want to bend the lines. You want to get this out of your way, which is not easy to do. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Alright, it's out of the way. Ow. That clipped the camera in my finger. That felt great. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it just like this. Don't rip the wires out of it. But what you want to do is, I'm kind of on a sprained ankle right now trying to do this, so I'm kind of moving a bit slow. So, when all this is out, and you get the studs broke loose, basically, see if I can, I'm not going to be able to show you guys this. If I position it that way, y'all are going to see my ugly mug. So, let me, alright. Ooh, what was that? Not a line, okay. You basically want to just get this out. I know, it looks terrible what I'm doing to this booster. Trust me, it's not. If it can take us slamming on the brakes, I think it can take a little bit of being manhandled. Basically, I'm going to do this with the camera off. You can't do it with one hand. You have to have 2 hands. Basically, you want to keep this master cylinder out of your way, slide the booster up into this cavity, and slide it right out the hood. Okay, so here's the master cylinder. It's out of the hole. Now, let me try to do this one-handed without messing up the ankle any worse and breaking my hands. Let's just... Okay. Now, my paint is already messed up, so I didn't care about putting a little scratch on it. So, yeah. And there's the booster out. I'm going to go get the new booster out of the house. I'll bring it right back out and show you the reverse of this, which is reinstalling your booster. Alright, so here is the new booster. Yes, it's the same brand. This is a Cardone remanufactured brake booster. This was the one they sent me because the other one had an issue. These are lifetime warranty, I believe. There is a part number for the Explorers on here somewhere. It is 5471901. So that's your part number. So yeah, let's get this installed. This one is quite easy. It's basically the reverse of removal. Like I said, I am working with sprained ankle at this time, so it's a little difficult to work. But I'm making it through and getting things done. That's how life goes. It doesn't stop because you're injured. Plus, I really want to go get a new set of tires for this thing because, as you see, these things are practically bald. These old DHT2s from Dextero. Really good tire, by the way. Just a little old. They are actually from... If I find the sticker with the date code, I will tell you. I'm not seeing it on here, actually. If I find it, I'll let you know. But anyways, let's get back to the regular scheduled programming here. Okay. That's how that should look right there. Perfect. Finally, I got this out of the way. If you're going to do this, make sure nothing metal touches your battery cables. I have covers on mine because these are custom terminals. I'll actually put a link to these in the description below because some people actually might want those. Very good terminals. The only thing I hate is these are a bit of a pain to get on the negative because it's much smaller than the positive terminal. But I digress. If I keep talking, we're not going to get anything done. So, back to the Explorer here. You want to make sure that these line up perfectly. Your booster is always off towards the left. Not your booster, but your crap. Oh, it's got Oli down there. I just seen. Yes, I have ADHD. That's why I'm like squirrel over here. This port, booster check valve, and hose must always be to the left so the hose can reach and connect to it. So what you're going to want to do is, like I said, get your booster, slide it down in here, get it past the hood strut first. Let's see here. Get it down, and there's the hole, and voila. Now, this is kind of painful to do, honestly. Ow. I just got the part of the hood latch in my stomach there. Line these up. Man, this thing is not gonna be any kind of graceful easy on me today. Like that. Wow, that was not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. Alright. With that, leave your booster like this. What I always like to do, if I can show you guys, I like to try my best to line up the master cylinder. It's gonna be a pain to do this one-handed. Basically, I may have kinked a line, I'm not sure. Oh boy. This is gonna get interesting. Yeah, I think I broke a line, let me see. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. Heavy word. I seen this line right here. A little cockeyed. I thought I broke it off. Whew. Okay. Basically, what I would recommend you guys do is put this fuse box back in, but do it this way. Kind of set it up enough so you can just catch the threads from the inside with the 4 13mm bolts, so you can bolt this up to the body of the vehicle. Basically, you want to get your brake pedal hooked up with your switch and your grommet. Make sure to put the yellow safety pin in. That has to be in, or your brake pedal can come disconnected from your actual booster, and then you have no brakes, and then you can potentially injure somebody or wreck the vehicle. So, I'm going to get those bolts in, and then I'm going to come back and show you guys how to line this back up once you've removed it. Alright, so once you get your booster bolted right back up to the body of the vehicle, you're going to want to come in here, and as you can see, here's our master cylinder. What you're going to want to do is push this up against it like that. It is a bit tight once you remove it. So what you're going to want to do is with 2 hands, you use one to push right here against it, and you're going to want to start threading your bolts on. These are 14mm bolts. You're going to want to do this with the booster and the master cylinder together. You do not want to bend any of these lines. It's very bad to do that. If you bend them, of course, you're going to have issues with leaks and no brake pressure. So I'm going to get these on, and then I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, so once you put your bolts back in, do not forget to plug in your brake pressure or brake sensor harness. This is what tells you if you have low brake fluid. It'll throw the red brake light on, letting you know, hey, your reservoir is very low. So you want to plug that in until it clicks. Now, here's a piece of advice I'm going to give you guys. If you have this orange switch and you have just this wire and it doesn't have a blue tag or a fuse on it, do not plug this in. You will not have cruise control, but there is a recall where this switch will leak inside of here, and it will actually leak brake fluid in here and into this terminal. And what will happen is, when it does that, it will catch on fire. Look it up, look up Ford Explorer fire recall, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. There was a crap ton of Ford vehicles that were catching on fire because of this sensor. I'm not going to plug it in here. I do have the other parts to replace all of this. It is a free recall still to dealer to get done, but personally I didn't have the 2 weeks to let my vehicle sit at a dealer for them to do it because they are backed up right now. So I'm going to do it myself and film it for you guys so you guys know how to do it, and I'm also going to put the part numbers for the parts to do it. But like I said, if you have this orange one and you do not have the fused harness or the blue sticker that has a fuse on it with this harness, do not plug this in. You're not going to have cruise control, but that's all this does. It's a brake deactivation switch. It deactivates the cruise control when you tap the brake pedal. A lot of people are going to be like, well, you know, Randy, why would you want to get rid of a customer's cruise control or your own cruise control? Mainly, every car I've worked on that is a Ford that has this recall, I'll leave unplugged, and I tell the customer, you know, here's the fire risk and stuff like that with it. I've also told them, you know, hey, I'll plug it in, but you're going to have to sign a piece of paper basically stating that if it does catch on fire, I'm not responsible, and that I've warned you of the risk of leaving the defective sensor plugged in and not replaced if a dealer, or let the dealer deal with it themselves. But like I said, yeah, you don't want to leave this plugged in. The one thing you do want to do after all this is plugged in, don't forget to plug in your vacuum hose for your booster. It just slips on. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it does go in. You just push and turn until it is fully seated. Make sure that's pushed all the way in, and there you go. So that right there will complete this part of the booster install. Now I will go back inside the vehicle and show you guys how to put on the switches for the brake light switch. Alright, so back to this brake pedal. First thing you're going to do is grab your rubber bushing, or plastic bushing, I'm sorry, and your yellow clip. And you're going to want to take this, and you're going to crawl up under your dashboard here. And you're going to notice your brake pedal has this little metal nub. You're going to want to stick this it'll be, oh no, I just threw it back there, didn't I? Okay, this part needs to go flat against the brake pedal. So what I mean by that is, on this metal piece, you're going to want to take it and slide it right over. Then here is your booster arm. You're going to want to take that and line it up which is kind of a pain in the butt. Once you get it on, your brake pedal should be smooth. But here's the bullcrap part that I hate on these Ford vehicles. You got to take this and you have to leave this arm basically almost off. Let me show you. Basically, want it halfway off up there. And you're going to take this part, it slides in between on that grommet, basically, or around the grommet. That rod up there, that rod will go through this hole. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to show you guys how it should look. Because if I am to try to do both, I'm going to wind up hurting myself. Let me just stick the camera up here. I'm not sure what you're seeing. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to have to do this off camera and come back and show you how it's done. Alright, so I got it on. Took me a good 10 minutes to fight with it, but it's in. Now, the next thing you want to do is this pin. It goes in just like this. This part goes in the hole and slides down till it clicks. So I'm going to slide this in. There you go. It's in. And that right there is going to conclude the video of how to install a brake booster on a 99 Ford Explorer. This will also work on, I believe, 95 through 2002 Ford Explorers. The 2002 being a sport year, I believe, would be the same interior design as this, so I'm believing it's the same inside of the engine bay. But definitely 95 through 01, this will work. So yeah, thank you so much for watching Lee's Automotive. I know it's been a complete rabbit hole, basically talking about all kinds of different stuff and being distracted, but we got it installed. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you. Please subscribe and leave your comments below if you have any questions. I will try to get back to y'all as soon as possible. Like the video if you liked it, and dislike it if you disliked it. And let me know what else y'all would like to see in the future. Thank you, and God bless y'all. Have a good day.